News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KBNU.
KBNU News Time is 4:05. I'm Bill Walter with this news update brought to you by Whole Tree Care. More information has come out late this afternoon about this morning's fatal accident that occurred near Wellsville and the American West Heritage Center, a six-vehicle crash that occurred around 6:15 a.m. Utah Highway Patrol Sergeant Cameron Roden said a black Ford F-150 was southbound when it drifted into northbound traffic lanes, sideswiping a silver Chevy Equinox. Troopers report as the Chevy was rotating, it was struck by a white Jeep Wrangler in a T-bone fashion. Roden said the Ford continued into northbound traffic and struck a silver Kia Seltos and a red Ford Focus. A white Dodge Ram ProMaster then hit the Kia. Troopers confirmed the 32-year-old driver of the Focus, a resident of Brigham City, sustained fatal injuries and was pronounced dead at the scene. Their identity has not been released as of yet. Photos from the scene of the crash showed vehicles blocking all lanes of traffic and debris scattered across several hundred feet of the highway. In addition to the driver who was killed, another motorist sustained critical injuries and was transported by paramedics to Logan Regional Hospital. Other occupants reportedly had minor injuries. Multiple law enforcement agencies and emergency crews were dispatched to the crash to treat the injured, investigate, and clear the wreckage. Law enforcement closed a section of US 8991 around the crash site for more than 5 hours. It was reopened at around 11:30 this morning. KBNU News Time is 4:06. KBNU weather for tonight. Becoming mostly clear is the forecast. Overnight low in the upper 30s. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny and the high temperature around 70. It's been to 66. It's 65 right now at KBNU. KBNU weather brought to you by the Duct Hunter. They remind you to change your furnace filter every 3 months. Your furnace will run more efficiently. To clean your ducts, give them a call at 435-770-4813.
Remember last October's huge snowstorm that destroyed trees all over Cache Valley? Bobby and his crew at Hull Tree Care were the most popular guys in town. Not saying that will happen again. However, I just looked at the forecast for winter and it calls for snow. Snow can wreak havoc in your overgrown trees and shrubs, which can wreak even more havoc in your home and vehicles. Call Hull Tree Care before winter gets here. 760-6587. Ask about their radio discount. That's HULL Tree Care.
KBNU News Time is 4:08. The Cache County Republicans have scheduled their special election to replace retired Cache County Assessor Kathleen Howell for this Saturday, September 24th. The party's faithful will gather at the North Campus of Thomas Edison Charter School in North Logan to choose between two candidates. They are interim assessor Brett Robinson and Kevin Hickman. Robinson is a graduate of Utah State University with a degree in finance and economics. Most recently, he was designated as interim assessor by Howell when she retired after 32 years as county assessor. Hickman is a graduate of Mesa Community College with an associate's degree. He also holds a bachelor's degree in public administration from Northern Arizona University and a certified residential appraiser's license. The candidate who wins the special election will serve out Howell's unexpired term of office. Only current members of the GOP County Central Committee are eligible to participate in the special election. That includes precinct chairs, vice chairs, secretaries and treasurers, county officers and executive committee members, and Republican elected officials representing or residing in Cache County. And in a State of the University address, the president of Utah Tech University talked about the growth of the campus and increase in student body. During the speech Wednesday, new university president Richard Williams touched on a number of topics, including Utah Tech's continued growth. University officials said they plan to expand their campus and add another set of dorms that will house over 500 students. Williams told KUTV he attributed the growth to the numerous options and opportunities for students. He said if you're in digital film, you get to be behind the camera that first year. If you're in engineering, you're hands-on. If you're in nursing, you're in education. If you're in education, you're out with the students. So that active learning, the polytechnic focus, is what's attracting the students. The 2022 freshman class was the largest the campus has ever seen. KBNU News Time is 4:10. For more details on these and other stories, visit CashValleyDaily.com.
News and current events. News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
Hey everybody, John Weiss with Heritage Jeep. You know, I get a lot of people asking me, John, why should I buy a Jeep from Heritage? What makes you so different? The difference is simple. It's our transparency promise. Every Heritage vehicle has the same low price online as you'll see on the sticker in the window. No secrets, no games, just total transparency. And during the Jeep Make This the Summer event, it's the perfect time for a great deal on our full lineup of 2022 Jeep vehicles. From the luxury of the all-new Wagoneer to the unrivaled toughness of the iconic Wrangler. So come see your hometown dealer with the biggest deals during the Jeep Make This the Summer event, and make this the summer you find yourself behind the wheel of a legendary Jeep vehicle. Visit Heritage in Brigham City, Logan, Tremont, or get your e-price at heritageeprice.com. At heritageeprice.com, you'll find the most competitive prices on the most rugged and capable Jeep vehicles. That's Heritage, your hometown dealer with the biggest deal.
Heritage Auto Group. Heritage, it's what drives our future.
Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology cares about you and your hearing. Dr. Paul Danes has always called Cache Valley home and cares about its people. And Dr. Danes offers state-of-the-art equipment, allowing him to provide the best service and care possible when it comes to your hearing. So if your hearing isn't what it used to be, give Dr. Danes a call at 753-HEAR or visit CacheValleyHearing.com to see what they can do for you.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
For the people.
We are waiting with bated breath for news from the Cache Republican Party meeting an executive committee tonight.
With Jason Williams.
And I'm really excited about this next segment. We have two guests here in studio. We're going to talk about something that we've talked about many times here on the show, but from a bit of a different angle.
Weekday afternoons from 4 till 6 on News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102 FM.
Welcome to KVNU's For the People. It is a beautiful, in my opinion, Thursday afternoon. I really enjoy the cloudy, cooler days. It is a nice welcome change. And also, I should point this out, it is the first day of fall here in the studio.
Not until 7:03 this evening.
Oh, that's right. It is in the evening. I forgot.
Something like that, yeah.
And it feels like the first day of fall today, but don't get used to that near 90s in the days ahead as things dry back out and heat back up. Getting pretty close. I saw one forecast like 85, 86, 87 in there next week. So, yeah, don't put the shorts and the T-shirts away just yet, but maybe keep the jacket a little handy. Coming up on the show today, the Cache Refugee and Immigrant Connection hosting their annual Harvest Moon dinner out at the old barn in Paradise. This is a huge venue, and it's sold out. That's news in and of itself that they're getting that much support. But why they're holding this dinner is fundraising. What they're doing at the dinner is newsworthy in and of itself. They are awarding Sabor. You know him. You've probably met him. Funny guy, Mr. Angie's Restaurant. He's getting an award tomorrow night from the Cache Refugee and Immigrant Connection, but why and what he's done to deserve this award is a story in and of itself. We'll be talking with Danny Buse of the Cache Refugee and Immigrant Connection in hour 2 of today's show. Jack Draxler, former Republican lawmaker, joins us at the start of next hour. with an update, some news on the Open Space Initiative front. They have scheduled their first public hearing for next week, and a lot of people are saying, what can we expect? Why the rush? There's a reason for that. We'll talk to Jack about that in hour 2. Kicking off things here in hour 1, though, is way more fun to talk about this. It's our theater hour with Charlie Schill. He joins us every Thursday at 4 o'clock. You can read his work each day at cachevalleydaily.com, news stories, theater reviews, and more. But he's gracious enough to give us an hour of his time once a week. And Charlie, welcome. How's your week been?
Pretty good. Did you see it?
I did.
What'd you think?
Everything. It was everything I expected and a little bit more. It was honestly just so fun to see that as a stage production.
We're talking about Singing in the Rain, folks.
It was honestly just cool. It was, and I'm saying this as a person that's not necessarily your biggest dancing production fan. You know, I love theater in general. But I have been to some dancing productions that kind of lost me. I zone out in ballets. But this was
not a ballet.
Yeah, this was not a ballet. And I'll be honest with you, there were a couple of times when I could see others in the audience having a little hard time not getting up and kind of moving with it a little bit. But man, the cast, they.
You know,
I would love to see a before and after of rehearsals on this one. Where were they on day one compared to what I saw?
Who knows?
Just fascinating
They probably
talent.
weren't very bad off right on day one.
Sure,
because they were all very talented.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
The only person that I regularly talk to about theater things before I write a review is Mary Hears.
Okay.
She's a producer over at UPR, big donor. She taught drama at Preston High School for years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And she was in Napoleon Dynamite.
I did know that. That's interesting. I didn't know about Preston High School.
Anyway, so Mary is giving my wife, Debbie Andrew, a hard time about where's the review, where's the review, where's the review. And so I posted it Saturday, and after seeing the show on the opening night. And Mary comes back to us with, to her, it looked like a professional Broadway production.
Oh.
And that's high praise.
Yeah.
She's not terribly generous, shall we say. She's got
fickle.
really high standards.
Yeah.
And she loved it.
It's not, it wouldn't be characteristic of her to just run around loving everything.
No. She has very precise expectations, and this show by the Music Theater West absolutely fulfilled them.
Was there a highlight for you? Was there at any point that you were wowed?
Oh, well, of course I was wowed by Singing in the Rain.
It was just so, I mean, it was perfect.
Where were you sitting?
About halfway back, center.
I was in the balcony on the sides, in the box seats, so I could see what was going on while they were doing that.
That would be a unique vantage point for this one.
The deal was, while Logan was dancing, the Logan McKenna, and great dancer. But the deal was they were projecting rainfall on the stage. There was that beautiful cityscape behind it.
That was really
which
cool.
was the only time they actually used a detailed background.
Oh, yeah.
And what was happening there is, the rainfall was projected, and then there was, between those two sets that they brought out on stage, there was a strip about 3 feet wide and as deep as it was between those two sets.
Interesting.
Where rain fell. And when he wanted to splash, he'd go back to that particular place on the stage and splash, and then he'd come off to do the more involved dances.
That is interesting because, so from my vantage point, and I would guess this is what most
like
people
the whole
saw.
Stage was,
I assume
was rain
because
falling.
I remember thinking, how did they squeegee? Because I assumed the whole stage was soaked for a bit there.
Well, it was. They brought out a huge shop vac, and they brought out all those kids with mops during the intermission.
They made quick work of it.
To do quick work of it, yeah.
That's interesting. But yeah, you couldn't see that from the regular floor.
But from above, you could spot that that's how they were doing it.
That is really cool.
And it was well done. It was really well done. One thing, am I going to be nitpicky? Yes, I'm going to be nitpicky.
It's your job.
They blew some lighting cues badly on opening night.
Oh, really?
When Cameron Gleed was doing Make 'Em Laugh, towards the end of that dance, or towards the end of that song, he does a backflip off that A-frame that they brought out on stage.
Okay.
On opening night, just as he was going to make that jump, all the lights went out.
Oh, no.
And you could hear his heels hit that, and he flipped, and the lights came back on just as he was landing.
That's too bad,
And
because
I thought, my God, he had guts, because I would have aborted the whole thing.
In the dark? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too bad people didn't really see that, because that was an impressive event.
Well, he is.
I held my breath.
He's a great dancer. We used to talk about, the dancers who could dance up and down the walls. He can.
What I liked about him and a couple of others, there were a few moments where, if you're even somewhat familiar with some of the original film's routines or the timing of certain things, there were a couple of times when I saw them building up, and I thought to myself, they're not gonna. Are they gonna? There's no way they want to attempt that, and then they did, and I thought that was really cool, and it was flawless. What I saw, and it was. I mean, the whole production wasn't flawless. There was a line, one little line flub. She stumbled for just a second and then caught right back up.
Yeah.
But I mean the choreography, the timing. I think that would, to me, I remember thinking the whole time that had to have been the hardest part. If that timing had been a little off by one person,
oh yeah,
everybody goes down.
Yep.
And they hit it.
Opening night, Celeste Bayo dragged a chair across the stage behind her because it got caught in a nightgown when she was doing What's Wrong with Me. And she covered it. She really covered it.
It would actually be fun to see her roll with that.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing her.
Oh, yeah.
That's she was definitely my favorite part.
Well, yeah. She stole the whole show.
That role is so perfect for her.
Not really, but she was really good. And Celeste, if you're listening, turn your radio down. Don't pay any attention. She's always embarrassed when we say nice things about her on the radio. Boy, she was good.
She was really good.
She was really good.
Her voice is unshakable.
Yeah.
There were a couple of times, this is always, something I admired about performers in a production like this. There were a couple of times when you could tell they were winded. And to the point where I'd have to grab a chair and pant for a few minutes before I could even talk, and they would sing. And there were a couple times for Celeste, I noticed that you could see very winded, and she would just launch into it.
Well, the other thing is that high, squeaky voice she was using, that's gonna take your breath away as you're doing it. That took guts.
That is, honestly, one of the coolest things, and I believe tonight is the last night you can see it, right? Or does it run through?
I think it runs through the weekend.
Oh, that's
I
right. It
think
runs
it's
through Saturday. I'm sorry. Yeah. It runs through Saturday. And there are some seats. There are a couple of the shows are pretty close to not or to sold out. But yeah. So, yeah, through the 24th. Ellen Eccles Theater, Music Theater West, Singing in the Rain. Big thumbs up you just heard from me and Charlie here. I doubt you'd be disappointed, even if this isn't really your thing. It's an impressively organized and put together show. So check it out. We'll be back with more of our guest, Charlie Schill, here in the studio for our theater hour right after this.
Hi, everyone. Don't miss out on the Cache Valley Media Group Fall Job Fair. It is going on right now till 6 o'clock at Castle Manor in Hyde Park. Have you ever daydreamed while you were at work because you weren't exactly thrilled with where you work? Or maybe you are pretty happy with where you work, but you've always wondered what it might be like to do better and to do more. This is an opportunity that's designed specifically for you. Show up looking nice and bring that resume. Be prepared to hand it out and be prepared to interview, because many people will be doing interviews on the spot and hiring today. You could walk in unemployed, walk out with a full-time gainful job that is an opportunity for growth that you probably this morning never thought was going to happen, or at least wondered whether or not it really ever could. It's going on today. Do not miss out on the Fall Job Fair with Cache Valley Media Group. It's going on right now at Castle Manor in Hyde Park.
For over 40 years, Wheatland Seed has helped area farmers succeed by lowering input costs and increasing returns. Now, to maximize your returns, we're offering our highest prices of the season for safflower. We'll arrange pickup on your new crop safflower that's not already contracted, or you can deliver to our Brigham City facility. For details, call Hunter or Pete at wheatlandseed.com. That's wheatlandseed.com.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. I should say that on air. I just said this to Charlie during the break. My very short, not as skilled reviewer and critic as Charlie is, review of Singing in the Rain, I would put it this way. It's so good, it made me want to see a day one rehearsal. Because I want to see did they come in this good and then they just went through the motions until the first opening night show, or did they stumble a bit more and miss cues a bit more and miss timing a bit more, and because it was just flawless. So
yeah, your heart goes out to a live performance all the time, and you're really you go in there hoping that it's going to be as good as you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
And in this case, it was.
And I kind of love that. This is now on my list of productions that I'll try to never miss. But not that you compare iterations of different stage performances, but you do kind of. Well, I guess a better example, we talked before about how Shakespeare for a lot of people is just overdone, but there are a couple of scenes in Hamlet and King Lear that just wanting to see how they do those will get me there a lot of times, because I just want to see because they pack that much wallop.
Like
if done well.
When Lear gouges his eyes out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that scene's done well, it just, no matter how many times you've seen that, you get sucked into the story. And so that Singing in the Rain is now like that for me as a stage production, because it was just really impressive. And Music Theater West, it's not that they have it. I shouldn't sound shocked, because they have the track record they do.
Yeah, but the caliber of this show was high even for them.
Sure.
Anybody can do Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Anybody can do South Pacific.
Sure. And the crowd will love it. But
to do a dance show, and you've got to, and it's gutsy.
Yeah.
Lockwood or McKenna, tap dancing on a wet stage
Yeah.
is not safe.
No?
Frankly.
It's something that should be done with a helmet.
Yes.
But
and he was marvelous. He, and we're sitting here praising Celeste to the moon. He was great.
yeah, that was another thing. I'm just thinking of this. Another thing I appreciated was because I wondered about this, having seen the film so many times and never a stage production. I was really aware of this and watching for it even subconsciously. But they had nods. Well, maybe nod's not the right word because it's part of the. There were things that you're like, oh, I remember that scene in the film. Oh, I remember that. But there was a lot that was very different, and not just gratuitously different, but
the bits with the, so much of the backstory is told in those video clips.
Yeah.
The screen comes down and you've got the projections.
I thought that was creative.
They were marvelous, to take that video and make it look like vintage footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really, really creative way to do that. And it just flowed seamlessly. It didn't really slow things down. It just a really, really well done production. And we should mention this before we move on from Music Theater West. They move on to Newsies, Disney's Newsies, the Broadway musical in February. That's next from them, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I think we're on the same page there.
Well,
I mean, it'll be good, but
they've got a track record. They'll go in and do shows that I really don't like and make me like them.
And then wow you. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the last one? Was it
Well, Annie,
That's right.
That's dangerous because you've got all the kids wandering around on stage, and it was marvelous.
Yeah.
Again, with Celeste Bayo doing dances and all that stuff with the kids.
That's right.
What? There was another one. Oh, The Music Man. That was back in
That's the one I'm thinking
2018, 2019, something like that. And I don't like The Music Man at all. And I just fell in love with their show.
Yeah.
They're so good. Even if you're determined to detest this thing,
Yeah.
you can't not like it. And you've got to give them their due.
Yeah. It's and honestly just one of those companies that, like you said, even if you're kind of about their choice for the production, they're probably going to impress you. So I'm this way with Newsies. This is
the thing.
One for me that
you've got to understand is that there are so many people standing in line to perform with Music Theater West. They almost have to do these gigantic shows to give people a chance to perform.
Yeah, it does. If you look at, going from one of these productions to the other, it does provide that very different. Although, one thing about Singing in the Rain, the cast was larger than I expected. I hadn't looked at the cast, but it was actually larger than I expected by two people. But Newsies is what, like 175?
No, it's nowhere near that. But it's
a big cast.
You can throw as many as you want on stage and something like that.
Yeah, especially that opening number.
Yeah. So
that's coming up February 24th from Music Theater West, also at the Eccles Theater. But right now, still a few days to see Singing in the Rain by Music Theater West, and you won't be disappointed.
Trust me, Music Theater West will never do The Little Mermaid.
Yeah. That's one thing that I really, really like about them. When they do Disney, they at least go out of the staples.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pull out all the stops.
Yeah. And they're always a bit different, just enough to be creative and unique. So, yeah, it's I would, if someone were to ask me which company to never miss a show from, I would put Music Theater West. But I'd say that about some of the others, too, I guess.
Well, for years we talked about Four Seasons being the Valley's best kept secret because nobody knew about them, but they were out there performing their hearts out in Smithfield.
It was strange that they were so unknown too, because they'd had these huge, notable hits.
Yeah. I'm really a sucker for Tuck Everlasting. That show was so good, and it got shut down by the COVID in 2020. And
I wanted to see how they did that one.
Oh, it was so good. It really was.
I hope they put that one back up for submission.
Yeah, but they're not going to have the same. They had Kaylee Checketts as the female lead, as the young girl who runs away from home. Oh my God, she was wonderful.
That was one that. How many people got to see that?
And the thing is, she was originally at she was at Mountain Crest, and she went over to the one in Millville, Ridgeline. And far as I know, she never did another.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
I'd never thought of that. Yeah, I haven't heard the name since. Oh, that's too bad.
Yep.
That's that pandemic paused a lot of things that, but probably books will be written about what just disappeared and slipped through the cracks, art-wise. Tragic stuff. 753-5868 if you'd like to join us, by the way. Talking with Charlie Schill of CashValleyDaily.com. You can read his work, news stories, theater reviews, and more there each and every day, but he's with us once a week for the Theater Hour, which continues right after the news with KVNU's Bill Walter.
Thank you, Jason. KVNU News Time is 4:37, and the news is brought to you by Northern Steel Buildings. The Utah State University Institute for Disability Research, Policy, and Practice is celebrating its 50th anniversary this fall. As a part of the celebration, they will feature artists in the Logan Gallery Walk tomorrow night. Kelly Hess is one of those artists. Kelly was born with a rare disease which impacts her respiratory system, so she uses a ventilator and oxygen and also uses a power wheelchair for her daily mobility. At Friday's Gallery Walk, works from her Consciously Breathing exhibit will be featured at the Presidio Real Estate office.
Regulating my breathing is a big part of my life. So when I started this series, it kind of felt like a natural evolution. I kind of wanted to make an attempt at visually expressing some of my feelings.
How does she describe herself as an artist?
I consider myself a practicing artist rather than a professional artist. Even though I've been painting for quite a while, I feel like I'm still teaching myself a lot. I really enjoy working on large canvases.
Kelly works for the Utah School to Work Initiative, a project which focuses on creating employment opportunities for young adults with developmental disabilities. At least one district attorney disagrees with Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes' decision to join an amicus brief concerning the seizure of documents from the residence of former President Trump and the legal dispute surrounding it. Reyes joins attorneys general from several other states in asking the court to reject the Biden administration's request to stay a district court order pending appeal that temporarily keeps the administration from using some of the documents for criminal investigative purposes. But Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill tweeted at Reyes Wednesday, saying in part, "Let the courts do their job and stay out of the way." Gill says this document is essentially political grandstanding. The brief was filed Tuesday in support of Donald Trump's case against the United States in the U.S. Court of Appeals. But late Wednesday, a 3-judge panel sided with the Biden administration, granting the motion for a partial stay pending appeal. And attorneys for the state of Idaho say a federal judge misinterpreted the law when he blocked part of a strict abortion ban. And they say another law blocking abortions after about 6 weeks gestation should remain in effect. Deputy Attorney General Brian Church asked U.S. District Judge B. Lynn Windmill on Wednesday to reconsider his decision blocking enforcement of a strict abortion ban in medical emergencies. The U.S. Department of Justice sued Idaho over the law last month. The law makes performing an abortion in any clinically diagnosable pregnancy a felony, but says that physicians can defend themselves in court by showing that the procedure was necessary to avert the pregnant person's death. KBNU News Time is 4:40.
We might all agree that a vacation to Vegas is good, but Hawaii is better. Same thing when you're building. Wood is good, but metal is better. If you're considering a new building for your farm or business, let Northern Steel Building show you the benefits of metal. Metal is stronger with little or no maintenance, and it doesn't burn. Find out how affordable a metal building really is by visiting northernsteelbuilding.com. That's northernsteelbuilding.com or call 435-677-7300.
KBNU weather for tonight becoming mostly clear is our forecast tonight, upper 30s overnight. And then tomorrow, nice day, sunny and around 70 degrees and into the mid-70s and plenty of sunshine on Saturday. It's been to 67. It's 67 degrees right now at KBNU. KBNU weather is brought to you by Mount Logan Laundry. Don't spend $20 to $30 or more at a dry cleaner when, for just a few bucks, Mount Logan Laundry can tackle those extra large loads with ease. 7th South in Brigham City, 1st East and 7th South, that is, and also 500 East, 900 North in Logan, Mount Logan Laundry. For more details on these and other stories, visit CashValleyDaily.com. Let's get the closing numbers on Wall Street now from Edward Jones.
This is Tammy Siemens bringing you the daily financial market report for September 22nd on behalf of financial advisor T.J. Davis and Edward Jones. A broader view offers a more positive outlook. While rate hike headwinds have driven weakness in the stock market of late, we think there are several reasons investors can be positive. Initial jobless claims out on Thursday came in at a better-than-expected 213,000. Jobless claims remain at a very low level, indicating that the labor market continues to hold up quite well. Corporate earnings have remained fairly resilient in the face of policy headwinds and rising input costs. Corporate profits tend to be a powerful guide for broader market performance, and S&P 500 earnings are still expected to rise at a reasonable pace over the coming year. Stocks have given back a bulk of their summer rally, but remain above the June lows. Market declines are never comfortable, but we think the greater than 20% decline already reflects a lot of the bad news and pessimism, suggesting to us that much of the pain has already been endured. The Dow closed down 107 points at 30,077. The NASDAQ closed down 153 points at 11,067. The S&P 500 closed down 32 points at 3,758. In commodity markets, the price of crude oil was up 49 cents at $83.43, and the spot price of gold was up $5.10 to $1,680.80. In stocks of local interest, Thermo Fisher was down $5.40 at $520.29. Zions Bancorp was down $1.35 at $55.75. Autoliv was down $1.34 at $70. Northrop Grumman was up $3.59 at $496.46. Home Depot was down $2.43 at $269.14, and Lowe's was down 24 cents at $188.12. This has been today's financial market report and stocks of local interest brought to you on behalf of Edward Jones, member SIPC, and financial advisor T.J. Davis, serving individual investors and with personalized attention and financial advice at 575 East 1400 North, Suite 150, North Logan. If you would like additional information, please contact our office at 435-753-0153 or any of the 7 local branch offices located in Providence, Logan, and Smithfield.
Hey everyone, it is the Cache Valley Media Group Job Fair, and it's going on today until 6 o'clock. It's happening at Castle Manor in Hyde Park. We've got a lot of businesses here looking to hire today. Everything from, Staker Parsons, West Liberty Foods, Thermo Fisher, FedEx, just to name a few. You know what? If you are looking for a new career, if you are looking for an opportunity to work up to something else, businesses that have room to grow, if you're looking for a better paycheck, or maybe you're just curious and maybe you're okay with where you're working right now, but you realize there's better out there, maybe I can go ahead and find something. Well, you could do that today. In fact, you might be able to walk out of there gainfully employed. It happens all the time. People walk in unemployed, they walk out totally employed. Don't miss the Cache Valley Media Group Job Fair. It's going on at Castle Manor today in Hyde Park from 11 to 6.
This Saturday before the Aggie UNLV football game, bring your appetite to the annual Ag Day Barbecue at the Craig Aston Park in Logan. From 2 to 4:30, fill up on a delicious feast of Utah beef and pork and lamb, fresh corn on the cob, onion rings, dairy products, and more. Buy tickets at the event or online in advance at agbarbecue.usu.edu. The Utah Department of Agriculture and Food and Utah's Own is proud to sponsor this year's event. It's Saturday starting at 2 at Craig Aston Park, 1307 North, 800 East. Buy tickets in advance at agbbq.usu.edu.
You can't beat fall in Utah. The weather is perfect for a getaway. Get out and drive a new Murdoch Hyundai with up to $500 off any new Hyundai. And every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty, and owner's assurance. When you walk through our doors, you feel like family. At Murdoch Hyundai in Logan, Linden, and Murray, or online at murdochhyundai.com.
Call 866-628-3065 or see dealer for complete details. Offer expires 10/1/22.
It's been a crazy few months with big rainstorms fueling the weeds in your lawn, garden, or empty lot, and the spiders coming inside to beat the heat. You need help. Let Logan Extermination take care of those pesky weeds and unwanted pests with an exterior lawn application and interior treatment for bugs. Call Logan Extermination today before your home becomes enemy territory. Logan Extermination, 752-8450.
Weed control starts at $45. Interior spider spray starts at $95.
My name is Dr. Brandon Prevey, and I love being a dentist. I work with Drs. Curtis Taylor, Anthony Larson, and Paul Harris. When people ask where our office is, I actually have 2 answers. First, I spend part of the week at Logan Dental Associates, and then second, I spend the other part at Cherry Creek Dental in Richmond. Both locations are a full-service dental office and can take care of everyone in the family. Call or go online and make your appointment with the offices most convenient for you. Logan Dental Associates in Logan or Cherry Creek Dental in Richmond.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. I'm Jason Williams. Jack Draxler, former Republican lawmaker, coming up in hour 2. He's going to have an announcement for us on the Open Space Initiative public hearing schedule. That is nailed down, I learned earlier today, and he'll be making that announcement here on our show at about 5:10-ish. Then we'll speak with Danny Bust, Executive Director of the Cache Refugee and Immigrant Connection. They are presenting a special award to Sabor tomorrow night. You know Sabor. Mr. Angie's, and this is a well-deserved award for him, and we'll talk about why he's getting the award and how you can actually, with your time and money, do your own to support refugee families here in Cache Valley. That's all coming up in hour 2. Right now, we're with Charlie Schill here in the studio, our guest this hour, talking theater, arts, entertainment, everything in between. We spent the majority of the show so far on Singing in the Rain, which it definitely deserves. But Charlie, I know you always have quite a few things you want to get to because there's always quite a few things going on.
We need to segue to the Tao Dance Theater from Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
They're going to be coming in to perform on September 30th.
Okay.
That's part of the the Cash Arts National Touring Show.
Sure.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, really?
They've got a grant from an Arts Forward grant from the Association of Performing Arts Professionals.
Really?
And they're going to come in. They're going to be doing like a week-long residency here in Cache Valley. They'll do a workshop with local dance companies. They'll do a student matinee of their show for about 1,000 local students. And,
wow.
of course, the evening performance
cool.
on the 30th. They're also going to be doing a lot of interaction with the Northwest Band of the Shoshone Nation.
Okay.
Most of the dancers in this company are native Hawaiian.
Sure.
And they have a kind of trend to work with indigenous peoples wherever they perform.
That's very cool.
They're going to do a land recognition ceremony at the courthouse, the historic courthouse on Main Street, on Wednesday, September 28th at noon. And that will be members of the dance company and members of the Shoshone getting together.
And performing simultaneously.
Or I don't know if they're going to be performing. They're going to be honoring each other and recognizing that.
That is very cool.
They're also going to go out to the site of the Bear River Massacre.
Okay.
On, I think October 1st.
So they're in town for a bit.
Oh yeah, they're going to be here for nearly a week, and they're going to tour the site, and there'll be a ceremony at the Bear River Massacre site, which the Shoshone are building their welcome center there. The event. The tour will be followed by a dinner at Cache Arts, and all Native Americans and Pacific Islanders are invited to attend that dinner.
Oh, wow.
So,
it's very cool.
It's quite the deal.
That is, so let's, with the timeline again. So Wednesday the 28th, at noon, the land recognition ceremony with Tao dance performers and members of the Northwestern Band of the Shoshone tribe.
And then Friday night, the performance at the Eccles Theater.
Okay, 7:30.
And then on Saturday, they go out to the Bear River Massacre site and come back to Cache Arts, to the Bullen Center, for that dinner event.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty cool. So that's much more than just a 2-hour dance performance at the Eccles.
Absolutely.
Friday night. That's very nice. That might be a few of those things you might want to mark your calendar for. I think I'm definitely going to try and get out and see the event at noon on Wednesday at the historic courthouse. And then that's right. So their performance is a one-night thing at the Eccles. Okay.
That's right.
But all these other events around that. That's very cool. And then we should point out that evening is also opening night of Adam's Family from Pickleville.
Right.
That is not sold out when I looked yesterday, but man, close.
I'm going to catch that Pickleville show on October 1st on matinee.
Oh. I noticed that. Do they always, I've never paid attention with Adam's Family. Do they always do the 2 matinees on certain days? I noticed they had 12:30 and 4.
No.
On a couple of days.
No.
So that's new.
This is a new thing.
3 in one day. Can you imagine that? That's stamina as a performer. To not be there in that third show going, you know the story.
Well, it's fairly traditional that you do one, high school performance, high school productions, normally on a Sunday, everywhere but Utah. You do a matinee performance, and then you do a 7:30 performance.
Sure.
But three in one day.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't think I could do it. I would. That third performance, I might not be very popular with the audience. We'll be back with more of our guest, Charlie Schill. Oh, no, sorry. I thought we had one more break. Bill just signaling that we are done with breaks, so we can just move right on to the next thing.
All right. Let's see what else we got.
Oh, the next on your list is the one.
Love and Info.
I'm really excited about this. Fully prepared to maybe hate it and never want to see it again, but I'm going anyway.
Okay.
This just looks so intriguing.
This is a production by the Theater Arts Department at Utah State University. It will be performed in the Black Box Theater, which means get your tickets in advance because there's about 32 seats in that theater. And it's by a woman named Churchill. She's a very, very prolific British playwright. And her thing is challenging our conceptions about what a one-act or a two-act show is.
Yeah.
The question she's asking with Love and Info is Love and Information. That's the real title. Is if it hasn't got any performers that you can see, hear, or touch, is it really a play?
That's it. That's just a really interesting question to me. Does it make it? Because I've listened to, so I'm a fan of old timey radio productions.
Sure.
And Ray Bradbury's, what was that called? I don't remember the name of it. And I've even gone back to some of The Shadow. That was a fun one too. That these radio productions that
who knows what evil lurks in the hearts
of men. That's right.
The
Shadow knew. It's just I've really enjoyed those. In fact, if you're a podcast listener, I challenge you to listen to some of those because they're more fun. And so I'm intrigued to see if I can sit there in a theater and just listen to a production. That is really, like I say, fully prepared to absolutely never want to see this again. But if that's the result, I'll still be happy I was there just for the experience.
Well, we'll see what it's like.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I share your admiration for old radio shows.
They're fun.
When I was in the service, we were always the Armed Forces Radio Network used to broadcast those old shows all the time, and they were a lot of fun. And here we go.
That's perfect. Bill found it. I love that. I honestly like it. Just the production value and the way they were able to tell the stories, and just rope you in. So yeah, I'm so excited for this. Love and Information at 7:30 October 3rd at the Black Box, one night only. Same day comedy night at the Eccles.
No. It's not one night.
That's right.
Only.
I'm sorry. I forgot that
runs the whole week.
Goes throughout the week with USU. Yep. That's right. I forgot they were with the USU students. So, yeah, this is starting October 3rd at 7:30 p.m. and then running throughout that week. That same day, comedy night at the Eccles. Details on that at casharts.org. And we're a quarter of the way through the list that Charlie produced here for the fall and holiday season. Plenty more to talk about.
It only took us 2 weeks to get through a quarter of the list.
We're making exactly average time here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Thanks again to Charlie Schill, to our listeners for joining us. That's it for Hour 1 in the Theater Hour. Former Republican lawmaker Jack Draxler with some announcements on the Open Space Initiative next here on